welcome to the second episode of Art Wars. Last time we had our first main challenge, first winner, first elimination, and no one went home because in this episode the brand new artist, which is Art of Mo, is joining the cast, and she has 1.9 thousand followers. So I'm hoping she will threaten some people a bit because she is incredible. Still, anything can happen because it is actually 22 hours left before the challenge ends, because I'm filming this on the same day that the challenge nearly ends. So I haven't got much to talk about, but I think we're just going to get straight into the first main challenge. Not the first, the second main challenge. So today's main challenge is all about legibility, which means you can tell what something is. And to test that, I have picked 5 of the most iconic cartoon characters for the contestants to draw in their style, but they must make sure that you still can tell which character is by their iconic features, but still making it their style and making it their own. Now, I said 5 characters because the twist of today's episode is they will be going head to head. So each character, 2 people will be drawing, and if you win your head to head, that artist will be automatically safe from elimination. That means there can only be 5 chosen for elimination, and 2 of them will be safe. 1 will be picked by us judges, and the other 2 by the winner of this episode. Now, speaking about winners, Lola won the last episode, so she got to pick the pairs for the head-to-head and what each pair would be drawing character-wise. I gave her the 5 characters I thought should be drew, as they are very, very important to kind of our, I'm not going to say generation, but kind of our age, because I think they came out the same time we would have watched them, and they are Dipper and Maple, so they had to draw 2 characters for that. SpongeBob, Bart Simpson, Steven Universe, and Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. So they're the 5, technically 6, but I wanted to chuck one in, so someone's gonna have to work harder, and I wanted to see if they would, and also Lola could have thrown some shade, and she did. So I'm going to list on screen the pairings. I'm going to now do the little slideshow of all 10 pieces of art. I haven't even seen them all yet, because tomorrow's the deadline. So let's see the art, I guess, and then we'll judge, which is always the best. And yeah. So, it is time for the judging of episode 2. Now this week, looking through the different drawings, I have been so surprised at everyone's what they've done. Some people haven't done as well as I thought they would. For me, I think the top has gone to the bottom and the bottom's gone to the top. There's some pairs where I love both, and there's some pairs where, let's just say, they're not my favourite out of the 10 drawings. And some people I don't think got the challenge just right, but then they still did an amazing drawing. So other news for the judging is Pi will not be joining us for this judging. I don't know if she will be joining us again, but hopefully she will. So instead, I've got someone at the exact same amazingness as Pi, and she's a very close friend of mine, and she's one of the most creative people I know in like drama and just everyday life. She's also very bonkers, weird, strange and crazy, and her name is Chesky. So she's not an actual artist, but she is so creative that it's going to be another amazing like look on these drawings, and she'll have these different opinions compared to our actual artists. So I'm going to call them now. They kind of know what we're judging on today. I've already spoken to them, so let's just get started. Hello.
Bye.
Right, so we are going to start with the first pair, which had to draw Steven Universe, which is Jolly Jolly Glizzer, which is a private account, and Whimsy Artist, which is the one of him crying. So,
Okay.
first look, which one is your guys' favourite?
1 second. Probably the Whimsy person. Yeah, I like Whimsy's as well.
Very true. I love it too. Well, I love both. This is one that I found really hard because I love both drawings for different reasons. I love this one because it's like their style and they've done the challenge on the dot, but then I don't think it necessarily looks like Steven Universe that much because he's a very, let's just say, chubby small kid, and here he kind of looks more like skinny, and his like main feature of his star top has kind of just been covered up. And like I think the crying, like, it makes sense for the character, but if you don't know the character, he just looks real depressed. But with the other one, the technique just isn't really there. It's a bit
blotchy.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. But then, in my opinion, it looks more like Steven Universe, but still has her style.
Yeah.
So we have to now decide the winner of this first head-to-head, and who will be safe from elimination, and the other will go into the bottom 5. So we must all now vote on our favourite one out of the two. I am going to vote Jolly Jolly.
Okay.
Chesky, who do you vote?
I'm gonna go for the Whimsy Arts.
Oh, so now it's all down to you.
As much as I like both of the art pieces, Jolly kind of seems like, not to be rude, but it's kind of last minute, and like the paper is crinkled, which means that like she or he or they, not gonna assume genders, is like kind of didn't take care of the paper. But like there could also be a backstory that I don't know. But looking at Whimsy's, there is about a main point of light, which is really great. The hands are upside down, which kind of confuses me. But you can tell it's the character. And also, what happened to his feet? Thank you. I vote Whimsy.
Oh, true. His feet. He did this with the hand last time. He like blobs them out, which is odd. But Whimsy is safe from elimination, and Jolly Jolly is in the bottom 5. Next, we're going to move on to the pair that had Bart Simpson, which is last week's winner, Lola. And who was the other one? It was
Lola's
Jamie Davis.
The frog one, right? Oh yeah, Lola's the frog one.
The frog won last time, but for me, this one this week from Lola is easily in the bottom 3 for me.
Yeah.
I just don't know what happened. Last week, it was just the best by far, and then this week it just kind of seems rushed.
The background bit's like quite nice.
True, that.
But I think the actual it's just.
Here I come to differ. Like I actually have a different opinion.
Oh, okay.
Well, when I first saw Jamie's, I thought it was Johnny Test, which I don't even know if you guys have that there. He's from Johnny Test. It's like an American show or something. And I thought it was Johnny Test. So when I realized it was Bart Simpson, I'm like, oh, it kind of doesn't really look like him. But when I saw Lola's, I'm like, oh, Bart Simpson. Because even though he's, like, rendered down to, like, a really, like, simplistic version to draw him, I was still able to recognize the character. And it's, like, clean and simple.
True. But, like, But then true, and Lola's is more her style, because, like, the one thing all the artists struggled with was turning the drawing into their style, and I think Jamie is one of them that struggled the most, because she does realism, and if I was her, I would have drawn a realistic boy, but then put a red top on him, and spiky yellow hair, so have the same features, but still realism, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I think if we're trying to compare it to Bart, Lola's does look a bit more like it.
True.
I guess. Today.
Yeah. So it's time to vote again. Who is the winner of this head-to-head? I am going to vote Lola as the winner of this one.
I'm going to agree with you on that one.
So Lola automatically.
I vote for Lola as well.
Next, we're going to move on to SpongeBob, which was by Elephant Jasper, and the brand new artist, which goes by the name of Mo. So, I'm very confused, because this, to me, just looks like normal SpongeBob and isn't their style whatsoever.
He kind of looks like, like stiff.
True.
Elephant's SpongeBob, he kind of looks like he's like frozen in time, and there really isn't like shadows to show like dimensions, so he kind of seems like really 2D, even though he is a 2D cartoon. Yeah. I would have added shadows to show like that this is the front or this is the back.
But then I really do like the way he's done the outline and then done that background. I love that, and it doesn't look patchy, that background. It looks like it's been done at this, like, you know what I mean. I can't speak.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just me, but it's the arm that's holding the spatula. It kind of looks a bit funky. Like, it looks longer.
Yeah, and it's more up on the body, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Next is Art of Moe's, and I love how simple it is, and I think it keeps in her style on when she does the simple, like, drawings of hers. But then also, it looks like it was done in 2 seconds. Well, it wouldn't be done in 2 seconds, because I could not do that in 2 seconds. But it just doesn't, like, there's no technique, it's just line work.
Is that meant to be masks over their faces?
I think it might be, you know.
Because it says stay safe.
Yeah, that's meant to be masks. She's done like a...
Why is SpongeBob's nose just like coming out? Surely I don't know. It just doesn't look... It's weird.
Well, like, nothing. It's a bloody sponge that's alive. I don't think it's meant to make sense, Chesky. It's time...
I don't know.
Oh, right, it's time to vote. Who do you guys vote for?
No.
Chesky?
I'm gonna go Mo.
Oh, I was gonna go with Elephant, but for this SpongeBob round, Art of Mo has 1 safety, and Elephant Jasper is in the bottom 5. So next we are going to do my favourite cartoon show on the planet. I've watched it hundreds of times, and it's Dipper and Maple from Gravity Falls. So these were done by Faith Paints, who was basically the runner-up of last episode, and Fantastical Doodles. Now this one, I think they are both in my top 2, but one of them have to go into that bottom 5, and I can't pick.
Okay, here's my thing with Faith. She seems to know how to use the color purple very well.
Yes.
And she uses it a lot. But if you look at the original characters, they barely have any purple. So it's
if
kind
you
of
scroll along, and there's more. If you scroll along, she's done a coloured version this time.
Yeah, but it still has purple.
True.
It's still purple undertones.
But then, with lots of artist drawings, they choose to have that purple shadowing.
Yes, but it kind of shows that she's, like, in my opinion, she's kind of limiting herself to one color, like purple as her
True.
color, and even if it wasn't done as well, I think I still would be more like being able to be like, oh, I really like this art piece, if she could show that she's able to use other colors other than purple, not to attack her. Like, purple's a great color and all, but if you're drawing a character that has barely any purple in their color scheme, you won't be played off as very well if you use only purple.
True. And another thing I don't really like about Faith, they look a lot older than they're meant to be. In her drawing, how old would you say they are?
16, 15?
They're meant to be 11 to 13-year-olds, I think it is. Yeah, 12 and 13. With fantastical doodles, I love that they look the right age to me. The only thing is Mabel looks a bit like a triangle shape.
His shorts are very short.
They are very short shorts.
They're very short.
But then I love how he's holding her pig, so she's clearly done research into these characters, or she's watched the show Luckily. So it's like...
I feel like they look more like the original.
Wrists don't really bend like that.
True, but then it's cartoon style again. Like, if you look at the original, their proportions are out of whack completely.
Jawline, hello,
Hi.
jawlines. Mabel kind of looks like she has an avocado for a head. Not to attack. I like her style, but her hair and like overall head shape confuses me because her headband disappears and goes in, so like it's like halfway in and halfway out, and like I can understand the like hairs on top, but like
Yeah, I get what you mean 100%. I just think these two look more like the characters and are still in her style. So it's now time to vote on who is the winner of this head-to-head, and my vote is going straight to Fantastical Doodles.
I agree.
Oh, sure.
So Fantastical Doodles has one safety, and in my complete shock, Faith is in the bottom 5. Now it is time for the last head-to-head, which is my second favourite out of them all, which is Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, which is by navy_.arts and One Awkward Artist. I'm gonna let you guys
Can
start.
I start?
Yeah, please.
Okay, straight out of the gates, I noticed that Navy tried to put in shadows. Like, you can see that he or they tried to put in shadows. I'm gonna say she or they. I'm just gonna say they because it's more better.
Go ahead.
Like, I can see that they tried to put in shadows, but they're kind of all over the place. And like, I'm guilty of doing that as well because art. But like, there's just random blobs, darker color, and like when you're shading a neck, clothing makes shadows. He probably has an Adam's apple. I draw weird, so yeah. But I really like his like the overall thing. Like, I knew exactly it was him.
I love the
smaller than the other.
The zoinks on the top. I just love that extra bit. And like, her critiques for last week was add colour and not just give us a sketch. And she done this. She clearly hasn't messed up the colours. Probably because there's a reference, but I even think the zoinks, the colour scheme of that, fits in perfectly with the drawing. Now if we look at One Awkward Artist, Chesky, what do you think of this one?
It doesn't look very... Yeah. It's... Oh, I don't really know. It's not... I'm looking at her other... Or they... The... Other pieces. It's not really... It doesn't really look like their usual style.
I agree. completely with that, because here he's just got blacked out eyes, but when one awkward artist has drew like her other characters, they've got an eye colour, and this one has just been like set back, like it just looks more simple. And they had 4 days, I think it was, to do this, 4 or 3, and like you can see like all together out of them all who's done more time. So like, but then I think it's still, you can tell what it's meant to be and who it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So
Okay, can I? Yeah, I'm going to talk.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, to me personally, going the route of taking a more simple style really gives her, in my opinion, an advantage over her normal style. Like, her normal style is great. We stand. But like, you can. It's simple. It's clean. Well, to me, it's clean. There's no shadows, but like, since it's simple, it kind of leaves some room to allow that. And I like how it's kind of more symmetrical than normal. You know?
Yeah.
Minus the shoulders.
I to be fair, I really do like the shape of one awkward artist. It just feels a bit more like together when Navy's, like that nose just doesn't, it annoys me slightly. It's a bit off.
I like that he looks scared.
Yes, it is, like with both of them you can easily tell the character, and I'm putting my vote towards Navy because I think it is more like the character and more in her style. So it is time for you two to vote and pick who is the last person safe from elimination.
I say awkward because I like it better. Just because.
Oh my god, that was Chesky's brother. I swear, I think that's Chesky's brother.
I'm so sorry.
Chesky, tell Henry to do one.
Oh my god, so he just barged in and unmuted my thing. Sorry. Carry on.
It's okay. I will probably keep this in because it's hilarious, Chesky. Just letting you know.
I'm gonna vote James on Navy.
So it is Navy is safe, and one awkward artist is in the bottom 5. Now what we have to do, out of the top 5, we have to pick one overall winner. So it's now time for us to pick out of the top 5, which are Lola, Whimsy, Mo, Fantastical Doodles, and Navy Arts. We have to pick our winner, who will pick 2 people for elimination out of the bottom 5. So
I got Whimsy. I think, to be honest, I think Whimsy's is well delivered, nice shadows. It's simple, we know the character, he's showing emotions that's correct to the show. It's not like he's doing something and it's canon to the show. There's a little bit things that she can improve on, but I think overall it is the most delivered, that signs up to like creativity and different stuff, and it's not like she just left him standing there like some people did with the other pieces. She kind of put him in a pose and he looks more dramatic, and like you can really show that he's showing emotions. Thank you.
you just went full speech mode. To be fair, I do agree. I think Whimsy deserves this win 100%.
I agree.
So Whimsy is this week's winner. It's time for us to pick the person we think is the worst and should go up for elimination with the 2 Whimsy picks. Now, who do you guys think should go for elimination?
Jolie.
Who?
Jolie. The other Steven person?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry, yeah. Oh, I disagree. I think Elephant Jasper should.
I was going to say Jamie.
Oh my god, we all think different.
Actually, I can agree with you on Jamie. I do agree.
No,
I am
not letting Jamie go up for elimination. She does not deserve to. She's done it. She's done a different style. Elephant has just straight copied SpongeBob. Nothing new about it whatsoever.
Yeah, but I'm not being rude, but
He's
it's
an iconic character, and he's like, it's not like I guess that she or they can draw like SpongeBob in like their own style. Like they could do like a human version.
Yeah,
but
that's...
they will stay truer to the actual character who's a sponge. I don't think there's different ways to draw a sponge other than SpongeBob. Like you can either have SpongeBob or you can draw a really realistic version of the sponge. There's no in between. Thank you.
No, I really do think. I just think at least the SpongeBob one, it looks like SpongeBob. I think Jamie, the colours are all correct and everything.
True.
But I just don't. It just doesn't really look like.
Okay, I tell you now, I would agree and let you put Jamie up, but if she goes home, I will not be happy.
Okay.
Okay, so Jamie is being put up for elimination. Whimsy now must pick 2 people for elimination, and this is the end of the first half of the judging, and we will be back when the elimination drawings are done. Goodbye. So it is the next day, and the winner, Whimsy, has picked the 2 people joining Jamie up for elimination, which will be Jolly and Faith Paints. And his reason behind it is because he said they are basically the best out of the bottom 5, and he said they're really good artists and were good competition, so he put them up for elimination. Now it's time to get on to this week's elimination challenge. This week, for the first twist of this episode, and only twist, is there's no elimination challenge. We are going to go back to the main challenge drawings and compare the 3 instead of just doing the head-to-heads. So we will now pick the worst one out of them. So it is time to look at the 3 drawings of the elimination artists from the main challenge. So let's start by just simply saying who we think is 100% not going home from these drawings.
Faith.
100% out of all of them, Faith has done the best. And then, like, out of Jamie and Jolly, I think it's pretty obvious who's going to go home.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we're thinking the same thing, which is Jamie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jamie would be going home, but sadly Faith has had to forfeit the show due to other reasons of not having enough time and just a bunch of stuff going on in her life. So Jamie is luckily being saved. But Jamie, if you're watching this, next episode, you best do something really, really, really good to stay in the show. And yeah, so that is the end of episode 2. I'm James. This is my fellow judge saying bye.
Goodbye.
And yeah. Thank you for watching episode 2 of Art Wars. Sadly, we had to say goodbye to Faith Paints and lucky to Rowan, aka Whimsy Arts. He got a win. Now, please subscribe, like and share, as episode 1 is now my most viewed video. So let's try and get this to 70 views. Thank you, I'm James Fudge, and make sure to go check out everyone's Instagrams in the link in the description box below. Goodbye. And hint for episode 3, we have a guest judge with 5.6 thousand followers. So stay tuned.